everybody, Ben here for the Bonehead podcast, and welcome to Top 5 Friday. Every week we get together and we have a look at the top 5 something to do with Blood Bowl. Now, first of all, congratulations on making it through another week. We're very nearly halfway through this year and very, very, very nearly, if not already in, tournament season now, which is really exciting. So we're going to have a look at, over the next few weeks, at the best teams at certain values. So I'm going to say TV1000 quite a lot, because in the olden times that would have been 1 million gold. Okay, so what we're doing is we're having a look today at the top 5 teams at 1 million gold, whether that's straight out and onto the tabletop for your first league, or at a TV1000, there you go, did it already, tournament with a couple of skills. You're not going to get a lot for your money. So what we're looking at today is the top 5 teams that are basically straight out of the box and onto the pitch. Number 5, it's the Orcs. So what I would normally do is give my top 5 and then look at yours. But I put the post out on social media and we got a ton of responses, so thank you all so much for pitching in, letting us know what you think. Put them all together in a spreadsheet and it gave us a top 5. That's normally what we go to last. However, your top 5 and my top 5 were so similar that I couldn't help myself but launch straight into your top 5 TV1000 teams, and the Orcs are right there. So Orcs are a really interesting one. But at 1 million, if you think about what you get, it is an absolute flipping ton. Okay, an absolute ton. Straight away for 1,000, for 1 million gold, you're going to get 3 rerolls, 3 blitzers and 3 black orcs. 3 big un blockers. Okay, or sorry, that's including the thrower. If you don't go for the thrower, you're going to get 4 strength 4 pieces and 4 strength 3 movement 6 block pieces. Now everybody on this team has armor 1 million. If you take the thrower build, you get some sure hands. If you don't take the thrower build, you've got 3 rerolls and 4 block pieces with so much armor, and 4 strength 4 pieces as well. You can even squeeze a goblin in there if you want a cheeky bit of stunty nonsense, but the strength of this team is the strength of this team. 4 strength 4 blockers, 3 to 4 blitzers as well, rocking that block skill. Straight out the bat, Orcs are actually a killer team. Now, they don't need a huge amount to get better, which is very, very, very cool. So at TV1000, or just a little bit over, basically the first few skills just go on those big and blockers to give them block. So at TV1000 itself, at 1 million starting roster, you are going to be playing against teams that also don't have that advantage. So strength 4, which we've done the numbers on, strength 4 is better. 2 die block is better than a 1 die block with block, basically. So they're in a really good spot. And on defense, Orcs are just fantastic. I have had so much fun when I was doing the formations videos for Orcs, just stacking up these dudes. And this team here is so much muscle. They are slow, but they will just beat to death almost every other team. So I loved the choice of Orcs being in the top 5, and you know what? They are really good, and at the start of a league, they are very, very powerful. They creep up slowly as well. It's really interesting, Orcs. They need a lot to get them to the next level, but right here, definitely in the top 5. Number 4, it's Skaven. Now you're kind of twigging why I didn't want to change this top 5 list. So, Skaven. At 1 million, probably the best build out there. 2 blitzers, 4 gutter runners, 1 thrower, 4 linemen, and 3 rerolls gives you 955k. Now, if you're playing in a tournament, that'll give you a cheeky couple of doubles. Hello, blodging gutter runners, or, you know, there's some other things you can do there. But in a league situation, that is potentially 4 dedicated fans to just get you more and more cash, to get you to that, honestly, just more linemen to start with, and then a rat ogre further down the line. So straight out the gate, 4 movement 9 edge 4 pieces with dodge, 2 blitzers with block, and obviously one of the best passes in the game. This guy's got movement 7, edge 3+, pass 2+, pass, and sure hands as well, and is a quick fire way to get that leader reroll too. So this team has got agility, it's got speed, it's got skills. The thing it doesn't necessarily have as much of as it would like, probably at 1 million, is that resilience. That's only 11 players. Now these players are fantastic, they are fast, the team works together really well, but it is going to give up casualties. It is going to give up some SPP. Whether you're playing league or tournament, you are going to lose some Skaven players. And the team, it gets degraded as it goes. It will be playing in the second half with 9 players, and it's going to end up with potentially 7 players on the pitch when you are playing against another team that's got a bit of punch to it. So I love Skaven in the top 5, and straight out 1000. Actually, they are positioned really well. This is an easy build with 4 dodge on Edge 2 Plus players. 2 block pieces as well. It's fantastic. The great thing about Skaven is you don't really need anything else. There's a couple of alternate builds. You can have a Rat Ogre in there as well. You can drop the number of Gutter Runners to increase your resilience. So you can drop 2 Gutters and take 3 Linemen. So you get that bench. You lose the skill. You lose the speed and you lose the Ange a little bit. But you get that extra player to keep yourselves alive a bit better. 1 million Skaven are great. They get out to a really good start in the league, and if you're playing a tournament with low TV value, Skaven have got basically everything they need to succeed already. So I'm a huge fan. That is why Skaven are number 4. Number 3, it's humans. So I'm really pleased to see so many votes here for humans, and again, this top 5 list just kind of fell together. What you guys said and what I kind of thought worked out pretty well. So the great thing here about humans at 1 million is you get every flipping thing you want. There's a couple of really cool builds to start out at TV1000. You could even fit the Ogre in there. How does this sound? 1 Ogre, 4 Blitzers, 1 Thrower, 5 Linemen. That takes you up to 11 players. You can get 3 rerolls and you can buy a Halfling as well. So you get the 12th player including a throw teammate option, backed up with a strength 5 big guy, a very good strength 5 big guy. Okay, we've got Mighty Blow, but yeah, Bonehead. But Bonehead is probably the best of all the nega traits. So the Ogre's right there in the mix. You get 4 of those strength access blitzers. Now, if you're playing straight up 1 million, this isn't going to give you much for skills, and that is fine because you don't really need them. The Thrower here competes with the Skaven as one of the best throwers in the game. Movement 6 isn't quite as good, but that passing 2+ is going to do wonders here. And this roster even comes with the Halfling for stunty throw teammate shenanigans as well. So if you look at the Skaven roster, those Gutter Runners are very, very, very good. But then if you compare it to the human roster here, we've got double the Blitzers. We've also got a strength 5 piece in there as well, and the Thrower is just as good. And there's a 12th player there with the Halfling. You do not have to give up anything when it comes to humans. And if you want to drop the Ogre, you actually get a ton of stuff more here. Straight away for 1 million, you can take 6 Linemen, 4 Blitzers, a Thrower, 2 Catchers, and 3 rerolls. Now, if you're playing at an event where there's a 1 million build and you can avoid some skills, so that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You can drop a dude. Drop 2 dudes. Take 100k's worth of skills for 1 million with an 11-man roster. 100, that's plenty of guard. That's guard, leader. Alright, you can even just drop that reroll and have an apothecary in there as well. So you get a ton of value here for humans, and they don't need a lot of support. So that's without the Ogre. I'm a big fan of the Ogre and humans. It makes it a bit more exciting. You got the human, you got the Halfling. It's a good mix. And ultimately, you're not really giving up anything there at all. You don't have the speed 9, but if you want, you can probably work out the cash to get one of your speed 8 dodge catchers in there as well. They're only 65k, they're only 15k more than your linemen. So the human team is insanely flexible. You get those cheap rerolls, you get 4 of those excellent blitzers, and the Thrower does everything you want him to do. These guys really hum straight away at 1 million now. This is probably the biggest boost that I can think of at TV1000. This team went from humans are fine, when they get going they get really good. Now humans are already good, and when they get going they get even better. So that is why you guys put, and I agree with, humans at number 3. Coming in at number 2, it's hard to disagree with Amazons at 1 million. So the cool thing about Amazons is they are cheap as you like. So everything we just said about the human team kind of applies here as well. 50k rerolls, 50k linemen, some good positionals. So there's a couple of different ways to kind of consider the Amazons. The first is to think of them as cool. They've lost an armor from humans, but they've got dodge, so everyone's harder to punch. And if you do need to make a breakout with them, well, it's much better doing a 1 in 9 failure than it is a 1 in 3. However, the other angle is that you sack off basically all the positionals here. Now, I'm a fan of having a thrower in a place where you can chuck leader on them to save cash from a reroll, but when it comes to Amazons, it's not massively required. Okay, I've got a 1000 build here with positionals, and we can adjust it afterwards. 4 blitzers. Fantastic. 4 blodgers immediately there. They are going to be slippery to punch down. 1 thrower, 2 catchers, 4 line women. That comes to 11 players. 3 rerolls and an apothecary. But the correct way to play Amazons, it is less exciting, but to maximize your power is to drop that thrower, drop those 2 catchers, take 4 line women instead. Then you end up with 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 8 line women, 4 blitzers, 3 rerolls, 1 apothecary. That comes in bang on a million. You've got a bench. You've got 4 blodgers. You've got a rest of a team with Ag 3+, movement 6, and dodge as well. Amazons get better as they go, but they don't need a lot. And the cool thing here is if you are an event where the million is all you get to do it, but you can buy some skills, you can drop a line woman and an apothecary or a reroll there, and you get 100k's worth of skills. And very much like we said with the human team, that is a good few guard pieces. And when it comes to this team here having blodge guard everywhere, it gets really gnarly really quickly. Now, we're looking at 1 million builds, and straight out the bat, Amazons are going to be really difficult. There's not going to be a huge prevalence of tackle around. You're going to have 4 block. You're going to have dodge. So if you do want to take that opportunity to get out and then get back in again, you've got a better than even chance, way better than even chance of pulling that off. Now, Amazons are tricky. They're actually a bash team. That dodge just basically gives them -1 to hit all the time, which means your Amazons are going to stay on their feet a lot. You're going to have a lot of dudes standing, and they're going to be able to give those assists for your 4 block pieces. It's a bit of a grind running around at movement 6 with dodge, but it is a very resilient team. You've got the cash and the flexibility there to drop them down to buy some extra skills if you need to, or take those extra inducements. Amazons start high, and they don't take a lot to get even better. And coming in at number 1, you guys had Dwarves, and you know, you can't knock Dwarves. Dwarves are a bit of a meme team because they are infinitely known for being really fun to play against. Not so much, but man, they are fun to run, and at 1 million they do not have to give up a lot. Now basically, when you're building a dwarf team for the first time, if you're looking at 1 million gold, you have one choice to make. Do I want 3 rerolls or 2 slayers? And you know what? It's really down to you. If you've got 2 rerolls, you're still going to be fine. Because you see this dwarf here, he's got block. You see this one up here, he's also got block. That guy at the left, he's got block. The one at the bottom right, he's got block too. Everybody has block with the exception of your 2 runners. And they have their own benefit, which is the fact that they're Ag 3+. They've got movement 6 and they've got sure hands. So their job is to save you a reroll by picking up the ball. The other 9 players on the team, their job is to save you a reroll by having block. Block is great on defense and is very good on offense. You've got 2 rerolls in the bank and 2 slayers. If you want to go the solo slayer route, you take 1 slayer, fill it out with a lineman, and then take a 3rd reroll. That's going to be a more consistent approach, and that 1 slayer is going to be more important to your team. It is potentially the safer and more correct route to go, as over time you can then buy that slayer. If you're in a league or if you're in a tournament, you're going to be using less rerolls by... It's just safer because each slayer is going to be making multiple blocks a turn, because they've got frenzy. It's much safer to have 1 frenzy and that extra reroll. It means you can take that risky dodge, you can go for that block, you can save yourself. It is fun to have 2 slayers though. That's your biggest choice. Then you've got a team that undoes things for free. Okay, armor 10+ on everybody on this team basically. That's not fair. The troll slayers and the runner are armor 9+. Okay, armor 9 plus on everybody on this team, but the majority of them are going to be armor 10 plus. Everybody also has thick skull. Everybody, with the exception of the runners, also has a block, which is going to keep them standing, and it's going to stop your opponents from standing. And then the sneaky bonus here is that your linemen have tackle. So if you look at some of the teams we've looked at, Halfling, Catcher on the human team, Gutter Runner, the entire Amazon team, all have dodge. Unless you've got tackle, in which case they simply do not have dodge. And when you are taking Dwarves against a team that's heavy on dodge, the dodge team is gonna get deleted. They lose that special power and it just comes undone. It's like rock, paper, lizard, scissors, Spock, except Spock wins every hand because you're a dwarf and you've been doing it for thousands of years. I have come around big style to dwarves. It all started with Grebo. Those minis are really lovely. Then I started farming a bunch of games for the formation videos and running around just creating this little shield wall of tiny bearded people with 2 massive orange fireballs of death just running around and frenzy blot us. It is really fun. It is unnecessarily fun. And playing against dwarves is always a challenge because they've got a solid lineup, block everywhere, good armor, sure hands, and that tackle just deletes the edge of some other opponents. If you think about every dodge skill being 20k and having it be removed from the team, you're playing 80k up against Skaven. You know, you're playing 40k up against humans. You're playing 200k up against Amazons. And that's where they net that extra value. Now, as dwarves grow up, they do lose that edge, okay, because you kind of get less important skills. Other teams will get faster. Other teams will get better faster than your dwarf team. And that is simply because dwarves don't really need anything at all. You start here, 2 slayers, 2 rerolls, 1 slayer, 3 rerolls. Oh, 3 slayers, wouldn't that be fun? And that's basically all you need. So I actually think this is the right call, but all of these 5 teams will play really close games. You don't need a lot with them. 1 million isn't a lot to sneak special players in there. It's not a lot to sneak star players in there. Did look at it with kind of like Underworld and Snotlings, and you can build some cool rosters. But ultimately, I think when it comes to consistency and power, these 5 teams are definitely up there. Now, there are some other great ones as well. There are some elf rosters that are good at 1 million, but similarly to the Skaven, they lose bench, they lose reserve, you have to sacrifice some positionals. But these teams here that we've just looked at don't have to sacrifice many, if any, positionals, and they've got all the ammo they need. 2, 3 rerolls with skills to counterbalance it. Good players going to see you through. Dark Elves were definitely up here as well. Dark Elves, Undead and Chaos Dwarves were real close. Norse were mentioned a lot too. There's a bunch of really good teams when it comes to 1 million, but I actually do agree with you guys. I think this is a really solid top 5. So I don't need to argue this week, which is wonderful because it's been a horrible week with hay fever and power cuts and things. So I am going to sign off now. I'm going to go chill out with a beer, have a wonderful Friday night. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Do let me know how much you disagree with this roster of 5, because I am genuinely intrigued. I love seeing the comments. I love seeing the thought. Next week, we're going to do 1250, so start thinking, and we'll get the post out this weekend. In the meantime, have a wonderful weekend, and we'll be back tomorrow with more Blood Bowl content. Happy blocking. Thanks very much for watching. We really appreciate your support. If you want to support the show even further, please like and subscribe. It really helps us out. Or come and join us in our Patreon, link below, where you get early access to our content and monthly competitions. See you later.